NBA Finals game number 4 is in the books. I'm unsupervised tonight, but to steal a line from Cody Rhodes, what do you want to talk about? That was an interesting one. TJ, Vegas, Mac enjoying their Friday night. I'm a glutton for punishment when it comes into here, and I figured there'd be a couple of things people wanted to talk about tonight, so feel free to chime in and chime along as we've got now a 2-2 NBA Finals. We've got a 2-2 Stanley Cup Final. Got the U.S. Open. We got all kinds of stuff going on right now. So feel free if you're a Pacer fan. Yeah, you might have some beef. If you're a Thunder fan, yeah, you might have some beef. We'll get to a couple of things, but wanted to share my general thoughts on what I just watched because that was a weird game. Indy led the whole time. We get to the end of the game. OKC just grinds it out. They keep battling it out. Did SGA push off? Did he travel? All kinds of things here to discuss, but I want to make sure that we understand at this point where we're at in the sports calendar, because again, we've got 2 championship series knotted at 2, and no matter what you feel about what you watched in tonight's particular game, we're in a really good spot. Now, let's address the thing that I know everybody is going to want to talk about, the officiating tonight. It sucked a big fat one to levels that I can't even properly put into accurate terms right now. I thought they were horrible on both sides. I thought the game flow was atrocious from start to finish. I mean, nobody was there to see Scott Foster, but apparently we were all there tonight to see Scott Foster. So again, we've said the same thing. If Mac and TJ were here, they'd say the same thing. You don't lose games because of officials. That being said, you can watch a really rough game because of officials, and I think that's the biggest thing I took away from tonight. Listen, am I shocked that the series is tied at 2? No, not at all. I mean, these are 2 great basketball teams. Yeah, there's a lot of people, I'm not watching it, or the logo's not on the court, and we want to bitch and whine and complain about that still. I don't understand it. But then again, everybody wants to find a reason to bitch, whine, and complain. But what we saw again tonight are 2 teams that are very evenly matched. Our guy, Worldwide Rob Perez, that's a mouthful, by the way, if you've had a couple of pops. But you know, you look at this and I'm going through the box score right here again, and Rob pointed this out on X first, if you're not following him. And I don't even know if you are an actual basketball fan, but not a single Pacer starter played over 40 minutes tonight. And that's what they do. They've got good depth. We've talked about it a bunch of times. I know we're going to have a bunch to talk about. Our next live show will be on Tuesday, which will be after game 5 of this series. After game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final that's coming up tomorrow night. But that's what I'm saying here is, like, we've got 2 incredible championship series, and you might hate the Oilers, the Panthers, the Pacers, and the Thunder, and that's perfectly fine. But do we understand what we're watching here? And I know the guys have talked about this in their previews. As far as tomorrow goes, Mac's going to set us up for moving day at the U.S. Open. Oakmont reared their teeth today. TJ, I mean, maybe TJ, I don't know, General McDavid, whatever that was all about. Who knows what's going to come up on our channels tomorrow to preview game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. But tonight, task at hand. Again, I'm not shocked that we're going to a best of 3 with these 2 teams. I'm going to say it because not a whole lot of people will say it. Some people will, but I think we're going to get a clear divide here on Pacers fans and Thunder fans. And thanks for everybody that's tuning in on TikTok Live. Not something that we can do all the time, but something we're working on here. Did SGA push off? And did he travel? Well, a couple of things here. I'm not as much in the camp of the arm push off when you're driving to the basket because I think it's for an official a very difficult call to make because you're talking about tight defense, and both of these teams are getting after each other's ass. And I think this is what us basketball fans actually enjoy the most about this series is you got that much space. Some guys embellish, this, that, and the other thing, and we can get to that to a whole different level on a different conversation. I think that's a hard call to make. But when I'm looking through X while I'm watching this game, and I've got guys like Eddie Johnson, the guy who put the J in jump shot, and I'm getting ready to blurt something out, to hammer out, thumb something out on X, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I didn't see it the right way. When I've got a guy in Eddie Johnson that talks about 3 officials watching SGA travel at that point and nobody blew the whistle, then I don't think I'm as crazy. So a lot of things, it is what it is. I thought Indiana let some of the calls kind of get to their head and get them off their rhythm a little bit. Again, the SGA under assists, he had no assists tonight, 0. That under his assist mark has been a money printer the entire postseason. And take that for what you will going into the final 3 games here. I thought Indy kind of lost their pace and lost their momentum, if you will, when some of those calls didn't go their way. And whether you agree with that or not, I think that's what really took them out. So, Oklahoma City gets away with a game where they shoot 3 for freaking 17 from 3. And granted, we know OKC is not a tremendous 3-point shooting team. That's not where their bread and butter is. But you shoot 17% in an NBA Finals game on the road, and you end up coming away with a victory. So, Indy, is that a tough one? Sure. But is Indy going to be fazed by this? Absolutely not. Do we think the Florida Panthers are going to be fazed by what happened last night in the Stanley Cup final? Absolutely not. It's a long-ass flight to take after, that game went the way it did. But these 4 teams that are left are the 4 best at every single thing that they do. And that's why they're in this position. And I think we need to make sure we appreciate that as sports fans. Tonight, I would have liked to have seen Tyrese be a little more aggressive. He was at times, but, we talked about it. Mac asked me the questions on the show last week. What's more important for the Pacers? And it's getting into the paint. And, Miles Turner didn't have a great shooting night. It happens. I think the Pacers are going to look at this and go, there was plenty of opportunities for us to put that game away, extend the lead a little bit. They didn't do it. That'll stick in their heads for all of maybe about 5 or 6 hours. Back to the drawing board, and here we go. I think as sports fans, we could get both of these series to go 7 games. It would be freaking incredible. And if you look at both of these series, it really kind of only had one bad game in each series as we've gotten through the first 4 respectively. So I don't know. I think if you're a Pacer fan, you've got every right to be frustrated and annoyed with how some of those calls went. I think if you're an OKC fan, kind of the same thing. Seemed a little more egregious on one side rather than the other for me. I am not a fan of Scott Foster for not the same reasons that everybody else is. But I just, I don't want to see a game, and I don't think any basketball fan wants to see a game, especially in the NBA Finals, that the flow of the game is disrupted by meaningless calls. Like, guys are going to get into each other's shorts here. This is what we do in the NBA Finals. We don't need to call every little touch bullshit foul that there is out there. We don't need to do all that stuff. The flow of this game, these 2 teams love to run up and down, push pace, play their way. Indy just likes to try and run you out of the gym. OKC wants to get into your shorts at half court. And I want to see that play its way out without a stop every 5 freaking seconds. Pacers fans, yeah, I think you do have a reason to be a little salty tonight. But here's the reality of the situation. You can go into OKC. You can take a game in OKC, which they've already done. And then you've got a chance to finish this series at home. Max doing his thing tonight, watching people drive around in circles up there. He makes fun of me for tennis. I can make fun of him for racing. But if he were here, I know he would say this just to grind my gears, to use a racing pun. There you go. To grind my gears a little bit, he would tell me that the next game is a must-win game for the Pacers. I know my partners well enough here. He would do that for two reasons, because you could look at it and say, yes, this is a must-win game for the Pacers. I don't necessarily agree with that, but you could say it. I hate that term in general. You're in the NBA Finals. Every game is a must-win game. You're trying to get 4 and hold Larry. That's what it is. But on the flip side of that, the Pacers know they can go into OKC and they can win a game and they can drag it back to Indy in front of – you think that building was loud the other night and tonight? Think of this. Set this scenario in Indiana, the team that everybody has overlooked the entire postseason. They go into OKC after tonight's game and win a game 5, and they're going back home with a chance to end the finals. My God, what a scene that would be. And either way, it's going to be a great scene. On the flip side, if you're OKC, you're going, we're going back home to our tremendous fans, our loud-ass fans, and we've got a chance now to win 2 of the next 3, and we only have to win 2, and we get 2 of those at home. We're set up for something incredible here, and I feel really bad for all the sour, salty, whiny bitches out there that have complained that this finals was going to suck because, I don't know. You asked me, it's one of the better final series we've seen in a long, long time. And Max says this all the time. We want the best teams at the biggest moments at the end of the year. Well, that's exactly what we have here. You know, a couple other things just combing through the box score. Easy for you to say. Chet Holmgren looked like he was playing through a lot of pain tonight. A couple different times on that ankle. Dude has 15 rebounds and 14 points. He was a monster again for the Thunder. Jalen Williams, 27 points. You know, the funny thing, I don't think we appreciate Shea as much as we should. Dude had 35 points tonight, and maybe it was just me. It kind of looked pedestrian for most of the game. You know, and Max dropped this in our group text a few times, and he's like, I just don't see it. And the first time he said it, I wanted to come through the phone and be like, yo, what are you watching? But watching tonight's game, I kind of saw it. Body control is incredible. He gets to that little pull-up elbow jumper. You know, he has his spots on the floor that he wants to get to, but like 10 for 10 from the free throw line. And most of those didn't come till hella late in the game, which ended up being a difference maker. Jalen Williams and SGA tonight, 21 of 21 from the free throw line. When your 2 best players are perfect from the free throw line and going 20 plus times a game, you're going to win a lot of games. So lots of stuff going on, man. You know, everybody talks about the dog days, but I think we got a treat this year to kind of pass off the dog days until a little bit later. We've got 2 incredible championship series, and I hope to hell you're watching them, no matter what you think of your team got screwed or your team, you know, should have been there if we weren't hurt, blah, 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 blah. These are the 4 teams we got, and this is pretty damn fun. And if you really, really are a sports fan, hell, I lost damn near everything I bet tonight. That was a fun game to watch. As far as the battle went, it was an annoying as hell game to watch because Scott Foster and his crew decided to kill any flow or any momentum out of it. It is what it is. Next week, we're on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for you. We'll take you through your lunchtime. Obviously, plenty to talk about. Again, Mac will set us up for moving day at Oakmont, which reared its ugly ass teeth today. Rory McIlroy, first guy to have a club tracer club throw. Broke a tee marker, made the cut. Phil Mickelson missed the cut, amongst others. Can't say that makes me feel any which way. I've got no idea what's coming in the preview tomorrow. I know my name's on the damn show, but as far as the Stanley Cup game goes, I don't know if we're going to see that goofy ass General McDavid guy or what. Those of you that are celebrating Father's Day early, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Happy Father's Day to all the moms that have stepped in the dad role as well, because that's just as important. Indy fans, it is what it is, but you know your team. They're resilient as hell. I don't think this is going to have any lingering effect. Thunder fans, you got to be jacked because that one looked like it was going to get out of hand early. This is why we play the games, man. This is why we love it. So appreciate you joining. I'm going to drink a hell of a lot more of these. Maybe get some sleep. It's been a long week because of the Open, but that's what we do. And for my entire crew on this Friday night, thanks for taking a couple minutes here with us. We will talk to you throughout the weekend. We will talk to you back on the show live on Tuesday. Have a good night, everybody. Cheers.